beautiful was the king of Iran, a Persian emperor. His name is King Cyrus. It's in the book of Nehemiah and Ezra. That when he encountered the Babylonian and finished Nebuchadnezzar and emancipated the Jews at the time, I use the word again, this is a personal opinion, that this religion of God at that time is so fresh. It's not as old as it is now. Those days were very fresh, very nice. So those people that they were reading these books, they were very, very spiritual, really spiritual. They must have affected King Cyrus very deeply. I think the teaching that we hear, the emancipations of what King Cyrus has said about the cylinder that's in the British Museum, about the freedom of the language and freedom of religion and freedom of work, it is the same effect that Socrates had when he goes back to Greece and tell them, these were the effects that the people of Israel had on King Cyrus and the Persian Empire of Achaemenids, that I think one of them married even a Israeli wife. And he's regarded as the anointed one, the Messiah, this King Cyrus. So, these are some of my thoughts about these people. Some they say that, and all the time it's been like this anyways. As soon as you talk about Israelis, okay, then you're a friend of Israelis. I say yes, I am. Why? Because I'm a Baha'i. Because I believe in God. I'm actually the envoy of God on the earth. How could I not love Moses and all the prophets from Adam right till now? They were all from this land. Who is Jesus? Nothing but Israelites. Muhammad, His Holiness Muhammad, by Arab, they don't call him an Arab, they call him Musta'arab, means an Arab immigrant. He is the descendant of the Ishmael, the son of Abraham, that came to Saudi Arabia. So, Christianity and Islam, major religion of God, they are the offshoot of Judaism, of the book of Torah, and before that from Abraham. Everybody comes from there. There are different lines of the prophet, but definitely the cycle of Adam, that it starts with Adam and Noah and Abraham and Moses and Jesus and Muhammad and even the Bab, they're all one family. There have been other cycles in India and Iran, in other places. You have names heard of Zoroaster or Lord Krishna or Mahatma Buddha. They're different, they're Aryans. But this cycle, which most of the people, good majority of the people they follow, they're all Israelites. There's something with these people. I'm going to talk about it. It just makes me very interested, to them. Because I know under pressure, a man under pressure, two things happens to him. Either he dies, suicide, goes crazy, hospitalized, psychiatric department, or he will be made much stronger. The pressure just turns, as I said, coal into diamond. That is what has happened to the people of Israel. They're great optimists, they're great communicator, they're great in many, many ways, greatest scientists. My God, so many people. You have to read one of the books I was reading, the contributions of the Jewish nations towards the civilization. There's tons of them. They're really to know. But they're asking me that. So, okay, then you're on the side of the Jews. I told them, no, I am not on anybody's side. I'm on the side of God. I'm on the side of the truth. My friendship with the Israelis and the people of Israel does not make me a certified enemy of the Palestinian. I love them just as much. I feel pity for them. I feel sorry for them. You know, I feel that they are the victim of their own misguided leaders, more so than they'll be scrutinized by the Israelis, you see. But nonetheless, they are victims, you know. I know I have seen many Israelis that they feel so awful about the Palestinians. One of their prime ministers a few years ago, he came and he said, I feel so sorry for you. Did you have to live in these conditions like ghettos? But you made it, you know. So, I've written some notes. I'm going to go through my notes here. The people of Israel. You have to know the grand scheme of God. It's written in the book, you know, that the God in Quran, in Bible, in Torah, God has created the world in 6 days. This is not in the Hindus and Buddhists. So if there's a record of God about the physical world, it would have been all over the same. It's not. Because it has a meaning nobody's understood. Except some very intelligent Sufis in Iran have. His name is Attar. He has found this, what 6 days is. 6 days, a day is 1,000 years by the criteria of Quran and Bible. So 6 days is 6,000 years. This world is not the world of physical world, the world of God, the world of the religion of God. Starting from Adam, you have Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, 6 of them. Each one of them duration is about 1,000 altogether. At the end of the Muhammadan time would be the 6,000 years past. God says, and that 7 days, which is the starting, God will come himself and he will be on his throne. We have many verses in Quran that says that actual visitation of God on the earth will happen on the day of resurrections. So God, as Abraham and his 2 sons Isaac and Ishmael, one Christianity comes out of it, the other one Muslims, and he knows these 2 are going to fight with each other. They're not going to accept each other. He can't be in the Muslims, because then Christian deny him, comes in the Christian, Muslim deny him. God has created this nation of Israel, small nations, just for himself. Just for himself. This is why he has preserved this nation for 3,500 years. Everything possibly we have done to them, they just could not die. They were not supposed to, because they have a mission. This is why today Baha'ullah is being sent by the Iranian in exile into the land of Israel before even Israel was made officially as a country in the, you know, today's world. So Baha'ullah, the manifestation of God, is there. If it was in the Muslim countries, they would have been devastating it. Christians would have been done the same thing. So between these 2 enemies, there's a referee. That referee is the people of Israel. They have a mission to solve the problem. Just like I said to the Palestinian, the tectonic plates of the earth, when they move, the Arabian tectonic plate comes, you know. When they move, they create earthquake. In the spiritual world, this tectonic plate represented by these religions of Islam, Christianity, they are meeting each other. The place is Israel. This is where there's a havoc there. The world is sick and is wounded, and the wound is in Israel. That is the conscience of the world. That if they can solve that, the problem will go away. But it's not that easy. Because it doesn't seem even the people of Israel themselves, they know why are they being saved? Why are they there? What is their task? All we know is that apologetically, after devastating all these innocent people in the Second World War, burning them, apologetically they threw them back in their own land. Gave the problem, so-called, to the Muslims. Okay, you guys handle them. People of Israel, they said, okay, God, this is what the Christians did to us. Maybe the Muslims, they could be better to us. Maybe we have found peace. They haven't had a government and a country for 2,000 years at least. When the Roman, nearly annihilated them. Now they're coming after 2,000 years, they're trying to start a country, people, just after the Second World War, before all the Muslim wars get together. They want to obliterate them again. They had no choice at the time to show the power. Anybody would. A cat does that, if you corner it. So, again, God was with them, in my opinion. Did not want the obliteration of Israel. This is not going to happen. So, because Baha'ullah and the Baha'i faith, which is the mandate of God, the global religion of God, is there. So these people are truly the hosts of the Lord. They are the soldier of God. Am I with the Israelis? No. I'm a global man. I'm like a ball. There's no side to me. It's all around. Anywhere you turn it. It is absolutely no way I can distinguish between the people of the earth based on this divisions, man-made divisions. All I know, people are people. You want to call them what you want to call them. And if naturally they come in different colors and shape, it's just the beauty of this world, that there's a diversity in it. So when the people of Israel, they come in here and they see all the Muslims are ready to attack, but God, they all came around totally to obliterate them.